Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. This is not the blue full moon in Sagittarius. It is, however, the resonance of that energy, which led up to a couple of weeks and will still be resounding with us for a few more days. And I say that to acknowledge that the universe is holding a very special space for many of us to deeply consider thoughtfully our next steps. And I do believe this powerful energy is allowing us to reset after a period of a lot of initial change in the beginning of the year and in preparation for a lot more energy upcoming in the second part of June. So having said that, Cancer, your present energy, the Wheel of Fortune, such a beautiful card. I love the pink on this card. This is telling me that you have an opportunity to make some kind of significant change. This is not simply an internal change or one that you're making within your own private environment, but it is also reflecting on a larger institutional change that you have the potential to impact favorably. I'm not sensing a whole lot more about this information. Maybe we'll get more clarity briefly, but it is very powerful, very positive, but one that has taken a lot of experience to manifest, a lot of experience to that you have had to come to terms with in order to be in this position. And in the past, the Page of Wands describes you putting yourself out there, taking a step, projecting yourself, perhaps being authentically yourself, the desire to be so. And in fact, it may as well be that you've encountered a set of circumstances that has returned you to a younger state in your life, an earlier stage in your life. This can be childhood, this can be infancy, but there's some part of you that is impacting this ability to expose yourself, to be authentic, to come directly from the heart, to stand for something, to stand up for your experience, which is what I believe has led you to the opportunity you may currently be facing. And I have to say, with major arcana cards, unlike the minors, these are changes that can have been years in the making, years in the manifesting themselves, as likely as they may appear for many of you sudden, particularly since I'm associating this card in this moment with Uranus's movement in the sky in Gemini into its retrograde phase for a couple of months, not for long. And this is, again, about a reset, this vast accumulation of knowledge that we have gained. For many of you, it's over many decades, many years. And for others of you, this is really an accumulation of a lifetime of experience that you have an opportunity unexpectedly to promote some kind of positive change, benefit, or plan. In the future, the Hermit card. Wow. I'm really sensing that you are becoming very close to the healing aspect of the experiences in your life that have impacted you in that way. So there's something about self-improvement, understanding yourself better, speaking from your own authority, that this experience is leading to. So I almost see a narrative trajectory here, an experience that is forcing you to announce it, to describe it, to share it with others in a way that makes a change, but also in a way that promotes you, pushes you into a realm of educating, presenting, talking about, discussing, sharing what you've learned with others. Some kind of advocacy here. From the Oracle card, I pulled Purpose. I know what I am here to do. This feels very charged to me in a positive way, but it is a little heavy because there's a sense here of you summarizing some very profound aspect of yourself for the edification of others. I'm going to clarify these cards in the top line, but before I do that, Cancer, if this is resonating with you, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I welcome your comments. Thank you for being here now. So I'm going to clarify the Page of Wands in the past with a couple of cards. And we have the Six of Swords and the Queen of Cups. There's a couple of things going on here around this aspect of your experience that is, it's almost a physical part of you. There's a way in which you have suffered through some kind of physical separation. And that can be from your family, within your family, something that makes you different from other members of your family, or perhaps a group of your family separating from another group. But there is acceptance of a lot of hardship here, a lot of confusion, and your desire, or the desire of those who cared for you, to move towards some kind of a solution, have a positive impact on some solution for something that was a problem for you. The Queen of Cups really puts you and those who cared for you in a place of being very sensitive and aware of your unique needs. Somehow you were singled out from your family as requiring or deserving some special attention. And this special attention seems to have cultivated a bond between you and a mother, a sister, or perhaps just some maternal energy. It can be a male energy. This can be one parent or another, both parents perhaps. But your presence in the family brought something deeply profound and intuitive from your parents as a whole, perhaps even from other members of your family. The 10, or the Wheel of Fortune in the present, I'm going to pull 2 cards for that. So the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the 7 of Wands, or the 7 of Swords, I'm sorry, and the 8 of Wands. So there's definitely a challenge here in your present moment. And it feels as though you have structured your life, structured your experience in a very dedicated, disciplined way as a response to this particular condition you've experienced. And I can't describe it more because it's going to be so very different for each of you. This is about you as a person, your formation, as well as the core of who you are, your identity. And the present, this opportunity to make a change in an area that has been difficult to look at, an area perhaps of your life that you have shielded others from, that you have shielded in general, made invisible, hidden. And an aspect that requires a lot of expertise and attention to manage. And in order to accomplish that, you have created or have been a part of a very rigorous discipline, attention, care, uh, building up. Perhaps there's a building up of strength, improving your personal development in some way, contributing to some kind of an important institution or organization. But these factors are part of what is allowing you to make a change in some way. You are forced to externalize a lot of uh, whatever it is that you have hidden, whatever it is that you haven't wanted others to know, or that you simply have avoided in the best way possible by hiding it from others, perhaps for their comfort, to allow them to feel good. So that you've done that by being very organized, working very hard, contributing to a system that was meant to keep something in place as a way of healing it, shielding others from it as a way of fixing it. I know that may be hard, but for many of you, this can relate to a physical condition. This can relate to a unique identity that you hold within a group, that has you have managed over a long time. You've managed, for many of you, throughout most of your life by sort of this dual approach, right? Keeping others, keeping this condition or this identity separate from the way in which you present to a group, to the family, to an organization, in order for you to not only fit in, but in order for you to benefit. You're willing to work hard at being like everyone else. In the future, the Hermit card is clarified by two cards. The Six of Wands, that's a really popular card, and two, the Five of Pentacles, and the other card was the Five of Wands. So we're talking about lifestyle, changing a lifestyle or having an impact on the changes that you can experience as part of a lifestyle. So as a result of you somehow contributing to some kind of improvement, some kind of way that you're informing an institution around how better to deal with a condition you have, a condition perhaps you share with others, you are doing your part to be a self-advocate. You are considering the context of this difference that you experience, the institutional experience you've sustained in managing this particular difference. And as a result of that, you have become part of a team that each member holds its role and responsibility, and your role and responsibility has become that of your own advocate, and in that turn, an advocate for others who have experienced certain limitations as a result of this condition. It isn't as though you are attempting to change the limitations so much as you are working as a part of a group that is making innovations in the way that this particular condition or difference is thought about. And in that role, you are having to go very deep into your own authority. And I mentioned that in the past, but it's also about the way that you've managed to heal yourself. If that means in the way that you not only manage a condition, but also the way that you are um, limited or have been limited, and understand that many of the limitations you experience are no longer necessary. It almost feels like you're bringing institutions or organizations along with you based on your feedback, your contribution to what the lived experience of this difference has been. And in that way, because I sense that Uranus is really positioned in the sky in many ways to be uh, in a place of resetting. So I almost feel like you're planet of revolution. You're vastly altering the way something has been handled in the past that is no longer adequate. And so, with technology, Uranus in Gemini, retrograde or direct, this is really about the way that we engage in technology. And in this case, it is specifically AI. AI is used in most of our social institutions in a variety of levels, from managing just caseloads, numbers, clients, patients, students, customers, but also in the way that it has um, falsely understood the data that has been fed, and you have an opportunity to correct the data that may have been reductionist regarding you at the center of that experience. I hope this is making sense, because this is coming through really quite in a dynamic way. But I do feel that throughout this experience of interchange, discussion, discourse, presentation, I see you as a part of a team, an unusual part of a team, in that often you are not invited into the center of understanding the progression of something, and that you are also on the side of advocating for more flexibility, more attention to the centrality of your needs. So, this is quite interesting. I would love to hear how this relates to many of you if you feel inclined to share. I did pull an outcome card, the Hierophant. So it's interesting because I see you playing an inside and outside role in some major institution. Obviously, this can be education, literally. And much of what I intuit to be the healing aspects of your advocacy or your narration or your participation in discussion can relate to teaching. I can see this in any social institution, any institution we rely on, ways in which you are both inside and outside and have this unique ability to have this impact, to announce or bring attention to the limitations of not only your experience, but the way in which you have sought help for that experience and been limited in your options. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant with a couple of cards. Whoa. Well, there's something right there. The Death card and the Four of Swords. I'm actually going to take the Two of Cups because, oops, that's not what was there. The Two of Cups, which I feel bears some relation to the deeper connection that's occurring between yourself as an individual, both within and outside of an institution. First, the Death card. You're ending something. You're ending a particular kind of relationship. I don't believe that you are ending or terminating this aspect of yourself. This aspect of yourself, this difference that I'm intuiting, is very much a part of who you are, and it's a part of your mission. But I do see you having an impact on ending a certain kind of very fixed and rigid relationship with that institution or organization that is intended to help. The Four of Pentacles is about your caution, your hesitance. If you have had to deal with an institution in relation to a condition, and I'm thinking again of a physical condition as an example, then you have experienced a lot of authority around what you can and can't do, who you are and who you are not, what your physical limitations are. And that has actually created a foundation that has defined your possibilities in life to a large extent. The Two of Cups here feels like really some very deep love and affection that has accompanied you throughout your life in some ways, in a way that has actually contributed to your own sensitivity, awareness. I feel a strong bond to your family in some aspects. This may be a strong bond to parents, whether living or passed on. But this bond actually has helped to create some very deep friendships, deep connections throughout your life. In particular, I feel many of you have a strong partnership, be that with a parent, a friend, a family member, or a spouse or longtime partner. And that partner is really the urging, the prompting to be who you are authentically, and that you will be safe in that way. This partner or spouse or friendship provides you the protection, the stability, the security that you need to engage in this kind of exposure of self, exposure of your experience in a way that can be daunting or just require a lot of help. This is really quite beautiful. For many of you, I do see you as having a major or receiving some major benefit from this, not only personally. I definitely feel a personal benefit, whether some innovation is originated from this discussion, from this feedback that you're able to provide. Some advocacy arises out of this opportunity for you to interact with other people like you or speak for other people like you, but also the benefit of a deeper connection to your own potential, a deeper impact on your social environment, and a building up of a very strong bond that has been with you throughout your life. I'm going to finish this reading, Cancer, with a flower, Language of the Flowers Oracle, and I'm getting over a flu, so I'm a little spaced out. And I pulled Heart Ease, Compassion, Tread a little more tenderly. And this is very clear to me that you are very hard on yourself. You are very methodical, disciplined, principled, and you will do whatever it takes to share what you believe needs to be heard by others. And in so doing, this partner provides a lot of protection for you in this great work, truly. But it's never a bad idea to be gentle with yourself, to be forgiving, to recognize your humanity. Thank you so much, Cancer, for this beautiful reading. I hope it's helpful, and until next time, namaste.